Hi, good afternoon. I hope you're well. Welcome to the session. I'm on the River Alne today, which is just outside Henley and Arden. It's actually a tributary to the River Arrow, or Arra if you're local. I've not fished here too much before. I've probably came here first time about a month ago just to have a little look around. Ended up having a go and caught a trout and a few dace. So as you can see probably behind me, it is quite a small river or stream really. It's got a little bit of extra colour in it, a little bit of extra water, but it looks quite good for a few fish. The stocks I'm not too sure about, but it looks really chubby to me, but I'm told they're few and far between. It's primarily trout and dace really. So I've got a rod out at the moment, just link ledgering a worm, and then I'm going to move on, I think, to trotting maggots. But it's a beautiful little stretch, lots of sort of shallow runs and deep bends, so there's plenty of spots to try. So I'm really looking forward to it. I don't think there's going to be, well, I know there's not going to be anything substantial caught today, but it's just nice to be out. There's only a few days left before the close season kicks in, but today really is just about getting a few bites, and unfortunately I don't think there's going to be any monsters, but you never know. So I'm going to set up my float rod, ready to do a bit of trotting, and I'll come back with you shortly. Cheers. So I'll just run you through the gear I'm using today. I've got my Shimano fixed ball reel with 4-pound line. I've got my light feeder rod, Rovex Captive 9 foot, and then that comes down to a very simple link ledger setup. So I've got a small BB shot, and then just running up and down the line, just on a piece of line, is 2 SSG shot. That then comes straight through down to the hook, which is a size 10 barbless Camazon, fish with a worm. So that's my sort of light link ledger setup, and I'm just sort of casting around this this nice spot where we've got a shallow run, which then comes down to a nice deeper pool. So I'm just going to cast that out whilst I set up my float rod, and see if we can't sneak out a little early fish. So just onto the bait today, nothing too fancy. I've got a couple of pints of white maggots with a few reds mixed in, and then I've got some worms, and then a bit of hemp seed. So yeah, nothing too fancy today, and see, hopefully that'll work. I've got some bread as well, and luncheon meat, but I don't think I'll be using that today. But yeah, fingers crossed. I think the dace might fancy the maggots, and the trout maybe the worm, who knows. Right, I'll just run you through the float setup I've got today. I've got my MAP fixed ball reel with Drennan floatfish line. I've got my Drennan 7 series float rod, 13 foot, which, to be fair, is probably going to be a little bit too long in some of these spots. And then I've got a very small sort of Drennan loafer float, a very simple shot-in pattern, and then that comes down, don't know if you can see that, but a small size 18 hook to 2.5-pound line. So that's the setup. I've been feeding maggots into the spot for probably 15 minutes or so. Didn't manage anything on the worm, although I did have a couple of wraps on the tip. I mentioned earlier that I came down probably about a month or so ago and had a few fish. So what I'm going to do is show you that sort of footage now, and then I'm going to give this spot a go. let's have the first rundown on the float. I'm sitting back from the bank and keeping low, which might make casting a little bit tricky, but let's see how that runs through. Lovely. As I say, I've been feeding maggots for about 15 minutes or so, 10-15 minutes. So hopefully if there is anything around, they've been attracted to the area. It is a little bit snaggy out there, so we'll see how we get on. But I think in this type of fishing it's probably half an hour in each spot and then move on. It is mid-March, so it's not that cold, but the fish might still be sort of bunched up together. Anyway, let's see how we get on. Fish on. What we got? Ooh. Pulling a bit. Gotta be a trout, isn't it? Yes. Brilliant. Right then, first fish of the afternoon. Little trout on the link ledger rig. Lovely little trout. Right, let's get the hook out and get it back. There we go then. First fish of the session. Hopefully you can see that. Beautiful trout. Lovely red spots. Right, let's get it back. Flying trout. Off he goes. There we go. Smallest fish in the world. Squarely hooked. Little minnow. Okay, third fish, little minnow. Gonna have to try and think of a way of working through these. Just switched over to trotting maggots on this run here. Managed a nice trout earlier, as you would have seen, on worm. And had a couple of minnows on the maggot. But yeah, let's just see if we can't sort of work through the minnows and attract some better fish into the swim. Probably got a couple of hours left, so hopefully try another couple of spots. There's another one. Another minnow. You wouldn't need many chips with that. Okay, let's work through it, see what we can do. Whoa, lovely fish. That's a nice trout. Okay, I was just moaning about the minnows, and I've just hooked into a nice trout, I think. Oh yes, that's a beauty. Brilliant. There you go. Another lovely little trout. Right, let's get the hook out. Okay, I've given the fish a good rest in the net. Not the biggest trout, but these are wild trout, so it's quite special really. About half an hour away from home as well, so it's good to go. I'm just going to lift the net under it and let it go. You won't be able to see very well, I'm afraid. There it goes. Great. Hi, good afternoon, hope you're well. Quick update for you. That's a couple of trout in now, so that was one on link-ledged worm and one on the float rod, which was good. I've just moved spots. I was catching a minnow basically every cast, which was good fun for a little bit. But yeah, plenty of bites, but now probably got a couple of hours left if I choose to take that long. But there's a couple of spots up towards the car park. The challenge now is trying to get a few dace. I think that'll be a good way to end the session, but I'm just going to head up there now, and I'll catch you with you shortly. Oh yes, fish on. I just put out a worm on the link ledger whilst I just fed the maggots, just building up the swim, and that's probably took about 10 minutes, if that. Come on, yes. What an absolute little beauty. About maybe the same size as the others, perhaps. Lovely fish. Okay, I'll just show you something that I'm just trialling at the moment with regards to how I'm hooking my worms. I take a section of the tail of the worm off, and I thread that. It's a little bit tricky, but I thread that along the hook, and then once it's up, I just pull it up through the line, so it's just sort of up the line like that, and then I take the remainder of the worm, hook it through the middle, and then push that small section of worm just past the eye and down the shank of the hook. And as you can see there, what that does is just hide the shank of the hook with a piece of worm, and that seems to be working quite well today. Right, let's get this out and try and get another one. and we'll carry on feeding some maggots for later. Okay, we're into another trout. Apologies you missed the bite there, but it was alright. It was a proper ripper. Oh, that's a beauty. Oh, look at that. Yes. Like peas in a pod. There's another one. It's at 4 now, I think. Whoa. Fish on. God, that pulled. What have we got? Oh yes. What we got? Oh, it's a little chub. Little chub, brilliant. Well, there you go. There we go. Not sure how well you can see that, but that's a lovely little chub. That again on worm. Just seem to be getting minnows on maggot, but yeah, that's lovely. Again, tiny, but good fun. Right, let's get it back. There it goes. Brilliant. Right, we're coming up to the end of the session. And I'm just going to switch over to the float and maggot. Last chance to try and get a dace. I've been feeding the swim up for last 10 minutes or so, so see if there's anything around. There you go, second cast on the float and maggot, and that's a little roach. Oh, there's another fish. Oh, that's a better one. What we got here? Oh, is that a dace? Yes, it is. Brilliant. Oh, his hook's just come out. Little dace. Yet another species. Beauty. Oh, there's a better fish. What we got here? Oh, that's a lovely dace. Again, a tiny fish, but who can grumble with a biter cast? Oh, that's a better fish. Come on, stay on. Stay on, please. What's this? Come on. Oh, yes. What's that? Oh, it's a lovely dace. Look at that. Beautiful dace. Again, not big, but lovely. God, they're wiry. Let's get it back. Hi good evening. I hope you're well. End of the session, back at the car now, just about to head off home. So yeah, really enjoyed the session, and a little bit different to normal, as I said earlier. It turned into some sort of mini species challenge of some sort, but yeah, ended up with trout, 4 trout, lots of minnows, to the point where it got a little bit annoying, but lots of minnows, roach, just the one roach, dace, maybe 3 or 4, and a small chub as well. So yeah, really pleased with the session. As I say, it's only my second trip down there, so really pleased with catching those small stuff. I'd probably you know, on another day, some would say I'd use them for pike bait, but anyway, it was good fun, and plenty of bites, and plenty of fish caught. So I do enjoy fishing the small streams. It probably takes me back to when I was a kid, running around with a net trying to chase in the sticklebacks in the stream. But anyway, so I hope you enjoyed the video, and there's I think just one more day left before the close season kicks in, so we'll see if I manage to get out tomorrow. I'm hoping perhaps to go to the River team, but we'll see how the levels are looking. But I'll leave it there, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.